As the wind erodes and the water corrodes, altering everything we think we know, but we don't. It's all temporary, and it used to, but now the thought doesn't scare me or keep my feet from following one after another until I slumber. Then my mind, not my feet, wander and dream of people and places I'll never see again. I've mended as much mental anguish as I can, and now I try to use this language to take these thoughts from my head to my pen. Cause though I don't speak of my dead friends or the circumstances, often the blow never softens or yields. I'm in a desolate field, lonesome stargazing, night blazing, chasing traces of remembrance and reverence of relevant friends and acquaintances, and faceless and nameless names and faces. And while my mind is racing through these photo albums and quotations, all these people and places far from me, for only land and stars I see when I'm outside of the Mile High City, which is not my city, for I was born 1,000 miles northeast of there, in the land of beer and lakes and pistol fire on MLK's birthday, where there is no minorities and segregation's mandatory. But that's a whole nother story altogether, and no matter the weather or hardships that any place brings, I'll still laugh when people shiver and say it's freezing, or say, hey, no, wait, I already had 18 mixed drinks, but I guess it's a Midwest thing, and I'm a mess from a dirty city. Most of this filth I've gathered with me.
Here we are, week 17 of Experience Andy Weins live, the 2nd of 2024. And today, we're going to talk about why busy is bullshit. We're going to get out and slay our goals for 2024 by being productive with our time, while also mixing in healthy amounts of rest, relaxation, and digestion. Coming up after the verse.
My work labors on as lovers sleep in each other's arms, remaining calm and collect. I begin my self-reflection process of redemption. Honestly, I don't know where this road leads, or if I'm even going. Could be rowing upstream, or worse, chasing my dreams to the peak, to finally be somebody doing something with what I have, rather than saying again and again that I can't and I won't anymore from this day forward. Cause Lord knows the past is set in stone, the present is yours to mold and to use for future uses. I know I'm a nuisance, I'm told, cause I'm neither young nor giant nor gnome. I don't sleep on these streets usually, though I've made thrones of my own. I don't sit well with idle hands, though don't know what to do when I'm home all alone. I'm a menace thrown from society, and as it lies to me, I'll smile silently as others do as they please. I am watching and listening, and I'm grinning all the while, cause sometimes all you can really do is smile. So as the work labors on, I'll keep on singing my songs, and this day's never done. We just keep on spinning around that sun. And well, through all these miles and trials, all I've learned to do is smile. Is to smile.
Thank you for joining me on yet another Monday here. Coming to you live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Negative like 4 degrees out there with a giant snowstorm. People talking about the weather this week, so I'll jump into the conversation. Also, a couple things we'll highlight before we get into why busy is bullshit. Coming to you every Monday right here from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook when they all cooperate and play. I do thank you for joining me live. Blog comes out every week. The book is also available on Amazon this week. So words fucking matter. Name of the book, Retrain Your Brain to Use Language That Serves You. Today's lesson is right in the book, and we're going to go a little bit more in depth today about that lesson. So my highlight from this week, and actually goes right with my gratitude for this week, is I had a woman I served in the Army with, Sergeant First Class Davis, come by and pick up 10 copies of Words Fucking Matter for a book club that she's starting with a group of Army Reserve soldiers. So my moment of gratitude, which I put on every week as a way for me to remember to be thankful for all the things that I've been blessed with, is to thank the people that have supported me along the way and to thank the people that have watched me from the periphery. This last week, I went to a convention and I've been doing a little more networking this last week. And a lot of people come up to me and say, "Hey, I read your blog every week," or "I watch your videos online." And they are inspired or they take something from it. And every time I ask them, "What is it you took away from this?" And like in Sergeant First Class Davis's situation, she bought the book, she read it, she loved it, and now she wants to share it with others. And she took away this lesson in particular about being productive, because often in the Army we are very busy. There's always things to do, and we find ourselves being busy all day, and yet it's hard for us to qualify what we did. So for all the people, there's three types of people in this world in every situation we're in. 90% of people are consumers, 9% of people are contributors, 1% of people are creators. And what I've realized is, as a creative type that puts myself out there, only 9% of that audience is going to respond to me and interact with me. So I thank you that are taking the time to be here live and contribute. See you Scrappin is one of our big guests. He's here almost every week, joins in the conversation. Really appreciate those people. And then it's also a good reminder to me that 90% of the people that watch my content, interact with me, or see what I'm doing in this world, aren't necessarily interacting with me. And so on those days where I wonder if what I'm doing is having an impact, I've been reminded the last week or two here how much of an impact it's making on people's lives. And so for that, I am grateful for. So let's talk about it. Let me get to the meat and potatoes. Let me get into the lesson of the day coming right from my book, Words Fucking Matter. And the most significant section of my book, and the first thing that I really wrote, was we call the anti-glossary. It is a list of shit words that do not serve. When I talk to people, this list here is the thing that is right up front. It's the introduction. It's the list of shit words, anti-glossary right up front, because I do things the way I want. Anyways, this is the thing that people resonate with the most, because when you use certain words, when you use certain words in your life, you end up limiting your ability to see what may be out there. You end up having this narrow tunnel vision, and busy is one of those words. The lesson is simple. Busy is bullshit. Busy is a state of being, not an action. Busy is non-quantifiable. And yet, in our society, we glorify those that are busy. Oh, they're such a busy bee. Oh, I don't want to bother you. I know you're busy. It's bullshit. And this is why. We look at people and they say, okay, they're doing stuff. Well, what are they doing? What are their actions? What are the results of those actions? And what are the results of the results? Right. So, for example, if I go to the gym, right, that's the action. I went to the gym. What was the result? I worked out. Well, what was the result of the workout? I can go farther on the bike than I could last week with the same amount of energy, because I've increased my cardiovascular structure. And how do I know that? Because I measure it. Because when I go to the bike, it's 200 watts, and my goal is to stay above 120 RPM for the entire 90 seconds of the grind there. That's the last part of my workout. And I know there are some weeks that 120 is very achievable. And there's some weeks that 125 feels good. And there's some weeks where I'm above 130. And I also know when I started on the bike a year ago going to the gym, I was happy when I got to three digits, the old three figures. I was happy when I hit 100. So now it's not like, well, I'm just busy. I'm just puddling along in my life, or yeah, I'm kind of busy just working out no, I'm actually doing something. And one of the reasons why I use working out as an analogy with a lot of the words I use within the book is because we all have an avatar. If you are alive, you have this vessel, this body, this thing you carry through the world. So at some point in your life, you work out, you end up eating, right? You sleep, you take in water, you do all these things that, promote a healthy vessel. And when you have a healthy vessel, you have a healthy brain. The challenge is with busy, people continually want to use busy as this busy badge, right? Look how busy I am, and yet they're not productive. I forgot to take off my headphones. When I take off the headphones, it allows me to get a little more creative and a little more free, because I'm not limited by hearing myself talk. As we go into this year, stop being busy. Are you being productive, or are you not being productive? Look at what you're doing with your life. What are the productive and unproductive relationships you have with people? Where are the relationships you have with people that are not stimulated? They're not motivated. They don't get you to that next level you want to get at. Or some of the activities that you're busy with. When you have those busy activities that need to get done, you got to learn to stop them by doing one of three things: delegate, automate, or eliminate. How can you cut down the amount of resource you put in to do these things that need to get done and yet are generally busy work or busy tasks? They don't motivate you. They don't get you closer to your end state. If you're in business, what are things you can delegate to somebody else? Whether you have subordinates or superiors or peers, who needs to be doing the work that you otherwise find yourself doing as a busy work? Also, on your personal life, what shit do you allow to occupy your time when you're not chasing your dreams? And people say, oh, I'm working all the time, I'm grinding. And I'll say, okay, what was your Facebook usage or YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever your vice is? Track how many minutes or hours sometimes a day you're on social media. How much time do you watch TV? How much time do you put in front of Netflix? Once you start qualifying all those minutes and hours, you'll find there is plenty of time available. It's not about time management, it's about prioritization. We cannot manage time. We all get the same exact time in same exact seconds and minutes and hours every single day. It's what you do with that time that ends up being productive versus busy. And so a lot of people think, oh, Andy just grinds. All he does is work. All he does is go. I hear that often. Oh, you're always doing something else. And I tell people I rarely work on the weekends. I leave here. I rarely take my laptop home. I never get up before 6 a.m. I'm not one of these 4:30 in the morning people, get my workout in and get to work first thing in the morning. And no, I find my time to be productive because when I'm here and when I'm working, I'm working. I used to spend 4 or 5 hours on a Monday creating content. I got it down to 15 minutes. I delegated out some of the responsibilities. I automated some of the things that never happened. And I eliminated the shit that did not serve me. And now I'm very productive with my 15 minutes of content that I put out every single week. And I took the plan from another woman, Erin Marcus, that told me 15 minutes, that's all she puts in every week. 15 minutes, everything else is automated thereafter. So I stole something from her so that I can be productive. And then you may ask, well, what do I do with the rest of my time? And I rest, digest, relax, reset. I take time intentionally to not work. I take time intentionally to do something different that allows my brain that time to relax and reset. I love going on walks. Going on walks is my favorite things. 4, 5, 6 miles. Unless I'm going out for 2 hours, I ain't even putting pants on. I want to get out. I want to pound the pavement. I want to get my steps in because that allows me to rest, digest, and relax. That's my time. Also in the Army, there's 4 functions you always do whenever you get a chance: eat, sleep, shit, shower. Whenever you get a chance, those are all very productive things. People want to say, "Oh, you took a nap in the middle of the day. How terrible was that?" It's like, well, would you rather take a nap and let your body rest a little bit and turn off your brain and slow down and catch, or zone out for a half hour in front of your computer where you're pretending to work and you know good and damn well that you're sitting there just staring at the same emails because you don't know even where to start? And I've been there myself. I get burned out. I used to get burned out every Thursday about 2:30, and I'd walk across the conference room to our old war room, and there's a couch, and I would take a little nappy poo on Thursdays. Now I've changed my coffee intake so I no longer get that crash. The key is to not drink coffee or caffeine. No caffeine the first 90 minutes you're awake. So now I've switched to decaf. No big deal, right? I eliminated coffee, which then the byproduct that was eliminating the nap. Total tangent. Look at your week. We've talked about it about a month ago, 3-4 weeks ago on this show, right before Christmas. We talked about do a 2-week time study. What are you doing with your time? And my challenge was find time within your schedule that you're not being productive. And often it's because you're busy. Then, this is the beautiful thing. When you start mastering the skills within the book, when you start hearing the words that do not serve you, when you start eliminating those words from your vernacular, you hear other people start using the bullshit words. And this is your opportunity to ask questions, fact-finding, identifying questions to understand what do they really mean. When they were saying they were busy, oh, I was so busy, I got nothing done. Okay, well, what were you doing all day? Oh, I had this and I had that. Oh, that took you 10 hours? Well, not really, because this. Okay, well, why'd you have to double back? Well, because I forgot something. Okay, so you forgot something? Did you make a checklist? What can you do to ensure that you don't forget the thing so you don't spend an hour extra on your commute because you forgot something at home? What can you do extra? How do you make the best out of every minute of your day? And then when you do rest, digest, relax, reset, whatever the word is you use, what are you doing for that? What is the measure in place? I go to the gym Mondays, Thursdays. I play volleyball Tuesdays, Wednesdays. That's my trigger to say, Andy, it's time to leave work for the day. I know when I have a volleyball at 6:30 at night, all right, I'm leaving work at 6 o'clock. I got to button her up. That's a short night for me. And I get to go play volleyball. And then I get to eat dinner at a decent time and get to bed at a decent time. When I play volleyball at 9:30, I know I'm going to stay at work late. So those are the times where I make up that. And there's enough variety week in and week out to allow me to be productive and yet go do something like volleyball for an hour. No phone, no computer screen, none of the things that I absolutely get sucked into. I'm social because I'm generally an introvert. I'm athletic. I'm doing something I enjoy. It brings me joy and dopamine. And then I go home tired and ready to eat and go to bed. Versus sit my happy ass at work, not being physically tired, being mentally exhausted, then never taking that hour to reset my brain, then taking all the shit that happened here back home with me, then sitting there and thinking about it. And now I'm busy thinking about shit that does not serve. Life is absolutely simple. It ain't always easy, right? That's why we eliminate the words easy and hard. It ain't always easy. Life is simple. Figure out when in life you are being busy. What do you need to do to stop that? Where can you delegate, automate, or eliminate functions and activities within your life so that you can be productive day in, day out? Give yourself the time to rest, digest, reset, relax, meditate, sleep, exercise, walk, whatever it is, so that when it's time to get out and slay life, you have the energy and enthusiasm necessary to make it happen. I thank you for joining me this week and every week. And as always, the advice remains the same. It's the same 12 words I live by week in, week out, day in, day out, and I want you to take them with you. This is my battle cry. Do the fucking thing, tell the fucking world, and show the fuck up. We'll see you next week.
Through all these miles and trials, all I've learned to do is smile. Is to smile.